here with Arlene today, and we're going to discuss how her experience has been using the P3toLife program. It's a specific structured phase 3 program that now exists after over a year of really, really hard work, and you can learn more about it on P3toLife.com. A lot of women are stabilizing really well on it, which just makes me so happy. But I wanted to bring on some of these success stories so you can kind of hear from their mouths how it's going for them, how they utilize the program, because some choose to tweak it a little bit and it still works really great for them. So you're going to hear just different things like that from Arlene today. So welcome.
Hello.
So why don't you just give us a little bit of just an introduction to yourself, like your hCG journey in a nutshell, where your starting weight was, where you're currently at, height and age, all that stuff.
Okay, hi everyone. Okay, my P2, I was at little over 170, and now I'm at 155, which is great. I'm right at goal weight. I'm 5'7", so that's all great. This is about the fourth time I've done hCG in the last couple of years, and I lost. It took me 2 times to lose to get down to this weight, and then I've gained, and then I've lost, and then I've gained, and then I've lost. So hopefully this time I will stay at this weight. I'm a pretty active person. I play competitive tennis. I am an outdoors person. We live on a lake, so we go on a boat all the time and stuff. So we're a pretty active lifestyle.
Gotcha. And you mentioned too that you eat pretty healthfully overall, which is
I
why
eat.
the weight issue and how active you are has been a frustrating thing.
Yes, I do. Thank you. I do eat pretty healthy. I try to, I've cut out sugars a long time ago. Sometimes I don't eat a lot of grains. I try not to eat too many carbs. But yeah, it's just, and I'm over 50, so everything slows down, I guess, at this age. And but it's still, there's no other way for me to lose weight. I've tried everything, and I just don't lose any weight.
It's
So.
just such a common thread, and I feel like it's just such a testament to the power of the hCG protocol because so many women say that. They're like, I'm not crazy. I know I'm eating right and I'm exercising and it doesn't budge or I gain weight. And there's a real problem behind that with the hormone levels or whatever. And then somehow the hCG protocol is able to like rise above all that, and make it work still.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy to lose weight, and then just now the next phase is keeping it off.
Yes, exactly. So tell me, what ended up making you decide to try out the Phase 3 to Life program?
So I have been watching your phase 2 program for a long time, going online and reading it. This time I thought, okay, I want to do it seriously. I bought your workbook, your P2 workbook, and then, watching you, the P3 was coming out, and I think you sent some emails. So I think the hardest part is, the stabilizing, being on the organized part where you can only eat, 5 different foods. It's pretty easy because
Yes.
that's all you can eat. But when it becomes you have many more choices, then what do you do? And your program came out right at I think a week or two before I started P3, so it was great for me to look through it and all that. But I mean, it was just a natural. You're the first program that has this.
Something specific, huh? Yeah.
Yes,
That's good.
specific. Yeah.
That's good. So did you feel, because a lot of us tend to feel really like scared and nervous when we're entering phase 3, did like kind of having that structure, did you feel different about the whole process then?
Yeah, I entered phase 3 with a great ease because, like I said, I had looked at, you have a lot of coaching videos and you have all the meals, and, it made me not afraid to be done with hCG. It's like I was almost excited because I thought, oh, look at all this great food I can eat, and it's okay to eat this food, and so it made me excited, like the total opposite of how I was every other time. You're scared. Okay, what do I eat the first day? What do I eat the first week? Can I just keep eating, slices of chicken breast for the rest of my life?
I
No.
know.
So, you got all these great menus and meals, and you're like, oh, okay, this is relaxing, this is exciting, and I was looking forward to, getting off of it and starting to eat and knowing that I'm not gonna, just totally blow everything like
Yeah.
before.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm curious, when you looked at the recipes and the amount of food and everything when you were starting the program and following it, did you feel like nervous at all about like because some people mentioned like, oh, I'm not sure, like this seems like too much food, or maybe I'll gain weight from it, but then they didn't. But like, I'm curious, just or did you just feel like, no, I trust it, it's gonna be fine?
No, no, it's hard to blindly trust it, but yeah, every
Right.
day, God, I ate so much food and it tasted, especially right when you get off the diet, it tastes so good. Everything is just like, oh my God, this
Yay.
is amazing. And you're eating like, full plates of food and you're stuffed at the end. And I thought, oh, for sure, I'm going to gain weight. And then you get on the scale and you've lost a pound or two more, which has never happened before. Never have I lost on the P3 phrase. And I didn't lose, you kind of stabilize, but I'm like, oh
Right.
my God, I ate all that food today. I ate butter, you get to eat like a teaspoon of butter or a
Yeah.
tablespoon of butter or whatever the recipe called for. And then I lost weight. How can that happen?
Awesome. That's good. I feel like it's like an empowering feeling, huh? When you feel like you have a sense of control now over like, cool, I know how to eat in a way that's enjoyable, and it makes the scale be nice to me and it's okay, you know?
Exactly. You're not like dreading waking up in the morning going, "Ugh, I don't want to get
Right.
on this."
Just because you had something that, that tasted good. So,
Exactly.
so,
Yes.
well, we'll talk a little more in detail then just about how you ended up following the program. But most people want to know, like, so what were your actual results with stabilizing? Like, did you stabilize? How about like correction days? Did you have to do a lot of those? Like, what were the results from following it?
So I totally stabilized. I did, like I said, I lost a couple pounds, from my last injection weight. I lost a couple pounds, then I gained a couple pounds, but I never, only one time, and that was my bad. I did drink a little, and I went over my last injection weight by point 0.2.
Okay.
So I never had to go 2 pounds over and worry about a steak day or any correction days. So mostly I was at goal or below goal. And
That's
then at the
great.
end, the very last day, 2 days ago was when I ended, it was like I was no, I was actually a pound under my last injection weight. So that was the end of P3. So
Awesome.
even if I had gained a little, I never gained, except for one time, above where I stopped.
That's awesome. So the fluctuation, did you feel like you noticed, I'm always curious about this. Was there more fluctuation in the first week than the third week, or was it pretty like within a couple pounds the whole time, or what would you say?
A couple pounds the whole. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
talking about more
Pretty
than a couple,
consistent. Yeah.
it was.
Okay.
But I knew if I didn't drink enough water or something that it maybe.
Right.
When I didn't drink enough water, I think I got dehydrated because it's starting to get hot where I live.
Yeah.
So then I would lose more weight for some reason.
Right.
But or if I worked out extra hard, I would lose a little more, and then the next day it would correct back to where I
Gotcha.
was. So, but no, I was pretty
Pretty
smooth all
pretty
along.
stable.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, since you mentioned the tennis thing and being active, did you exercise during phase three then, or do active things?
Yes, yes, I did. Like I do yoga almost every day, but I didn't play tennis. Our season's slowing down right now, so I only played like maybe 2 times a week
Gotcha.
in my leagues, and then I do like these half-hour workouts, and I had to ramp back up because, when you're on phase 2, it's kind of harder to
Yeah.
exercise, So it did take me the 3 weeks to get more
Feeling
energy and
like yourself again.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that when I got off phase two and I had taken a break from CrossFit, and I remember when I first went back, yeah, I felt like, whew, like, but it came back pretty fast. Like you said, within a couple weeks, a few times, you get all your energy and your strength back, and you're fine. But it's just those first couple of times you feel like, man, I feel so weak.
Yes, yes. Yeah, because I did play tennis on P2. I tried not
Gotcha.
to do it as much because I
Yeah.
think your brain it's hard for your brain and everything
Right.
to
Well,
get.
you're kind of on a cleanse, So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I tried not to, but like maybe the first one back, I was able to play a lot better than I did on phase 2. But then by the third week, I mean, I don't think I'm quite where I need to be, but I pretty much have almost all my energy. I'm hoping it's not. I mean, I think you have to get back in shape a little bit again
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But I
That's
feel so
good.
much better. I mean, you're lighter, you're 20 pounds lighter. Heck,
Right.
God, you can run around a lot faster.
Yes. No, it's true. It makes a difference. I remember in the middle of my fourth round, I think, or my middle of my fifth round, I could suddenly do a strict pull up, and I couldn't before. So it's not like I was working out, working towards it. It was like I was to here, and then all of a sudden, halfway through my fifth round, because I had lost enough fat, you know, I was like, I did two. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. I mean, I felt kind of like I cheated, you know, because it's like, and I've had them ever since, you know, it's like I just kind of cheated my way to it. I mean, because it's the fat loss, you know, so.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
funny. So tell me a little bit then about how you ended up following the program, because now, of course, when you first enrolled, probably we might have had just the original, I can't remember, but you guys, I have an original, a simplified plan, and a build your own. But even with the original, when that's all that I had, people sometimes tweaked it or whatnot. So how did you end up kind of following it or utilizing it for your P3?
So I mostly did the original plan. I did I put everything on the Copy Me That app, and just meal planned it, and I pretty much followed that almost 100%. And I did travel during the time. So when I traveled, I just made ahead the meals and pre-portioned them. And my husband's doing it with me, so I made him one and me one. And for the amount of time that we were out, sometimes we were just out for like a whole day. So I just make sure my mug muffins, love those, and I just make sure to have everything set and ready.
Cool.
I ate out at a restaurant like maybe twice during the whole time. So I tried to really be strict on what your meals were and
Cool.
not turn around. But you did come out with the build your own
Mm-hmm.
plan and the simplified plan.
Right.
Um, I wanted to try everything, so I didn't want
Yeah,
to
you
do
got the
this.
most variety that way with the original. Then you get to try all the recipes during that
Exactly.
time.
Exactly. And the build your own, I think you came out with more toward my week 3, and I was kind of already set
Yeah.
in what I was doing, so I didn't really pay attention to that too
Yeah,
much.
it's really, I mean, it's a lot more work, honestly. So it's better to just follow the structured one. I just did it because that's what people want. So
Hey,
some people are like, you know what? Sometimes I do just want plain chicken breast and broccoli. And it's true. On occasion, when you're rushed, it's like you do want that. So that was kind of like, okay, let's make it so that we have real recipes, but we also have simple options for those just really hectic days. So,
Well, what I found was good about that is because like I don't eat pork, so you had a lot of pork things. So I guess I did tweak things a
yeah,
little bit.
no,
I
that's
changed
fine.
out the pork, like you had the pork fritters. I changed that out with like chicken sausage. So I wanted to
Perfect.
look at, okay, pork is X amount of calories.
Right.
Chicken would, to make sure I got the same balance, I guess.
Smart. Yes, exactly. Because you can totally do that, you guys, switching out the proteins, like you said, and then finding something of like caloric value. And so that's true. In the build your own kit, I do have a list of like the different calorie amounts of different meats. And especially also, I have it listed out in ounces and type that's already like a good choice for whatever week you are in P3. So it's also not like you're left to decide like, okay, well, this is this per ounce, and now how many ounces should I eat to fit for a good P3? You don't even have to figure that out. Like it's already listed. Okay, if you're in week 1, this is what's a good choice, and this is how many ounces of this protein you would choose. So yeah, I try to take as much of the work out of it as possible, you know.
Right. Well,
So
following the recipes to me seemed easy and yummy. So, I mean,
good.
I
I'm
go back
glad.
to.
And now there is a lot of variety too in the recipes. Like, how did you feel about that? Like, are you used to already eating a lot of variety in your meals, or what did you think about that aspect of it?
I thought the variety was great. No, because when you get off, usually in hCG, you're kind of on phase 2. I mean, you don't have a lot of variety. So getting like all of a sudden you have all this variety, and like I said, everything tasted really good. So you're like, oh my God, this is so good. And I'm not gaining weight. I mean, what else could you want? And I
Yeah.
thought the recipes were fairly easy.
Good.
So it was it was just a win-win for me to try all the variety. I mean,
Good.
and there's a couple that I maybe missed because like I went out to lunch. Okay, that one day,
Sure. Yeah.
now I'm still trying like the few that I have missed.
Cool. Awesome. Can you share a little bit just about like your cooking schedule or how you ended up doing it? Did you batch cook? Did you cook every day? Like how did you kind of do that part of it?
But I mean, that's something to me. I'm still trying to get more organized on. I kind of emailed you back
Yeah.
and
Like we should
forth.
create a schedule for like what to cook when and yeah.
Exactly, and I'm in my head. I'm still trying to think. Okay, how to make it. I love being organized.
Yeah, yeah. It does help once you actually get it in going.
Right. So what I had done was I'd prep as much as I could on Sundays. Like I'd chop all the vegetables that I could and
Gotcha.
maybe cook some of the meat. And that usually vegetables would last the week, but the meat I'd maybe cook, like I cooked everything Sunday, and I think it'll last till Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to cook a second time. And that,
Right.
that kind of works with my family's schedule. You know, we have a whole weekend schedule and we have a whole week schedule. So
Gotcha.
that kind of is good. So I think the 2 times a week cooking, but I don't try not to cook every night.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I do, you know, sometimes you'll just have everything ready and you just got to throw it together in a pot and
Right.
cook it. I have an Instapot, so that makes everything even more simple.
Right. Yeah, I love that thing. I use ours every day, like our Instant Pot. Like I throw chicken breast in there if I just want to have some protein laying around, you know. So.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
have 2.
Do you?
Yeah.
See, I was thinking like we have the 6-quart, and I'm like, now the 8-quart's out. I wonder if I should get that too, or if that's kind of overkill. Because sometimes it gets overly full. Like if you're doing a stew and you want to have family over, and it's like, man, the 6-quart's not really big enough now. And so
I
do you
know.
have the 8-quart?
No, I have 2 6-quarts. I got them both before the 8-quart came out.
Yeah, because I got excited when the 8-quart came out.
But having 2, because you can do your vegetables in one while
Yeah.
your meat's cooking in the other. Like, you know, so if you're just making chicken or whatever, you can do everything else in the other one. So
True.
I've used 2, or like you got hard-boiled eggs going and you got your chicken going, so you can
Yeah.
all do it all, you know, so Sunday goes a lot faster
Great.
by, you know, cooking eggs in one and you know, and
That's
just
true.
kind of rotate.
Good point. For any of you guys who aren't familiar with what we're talking about, it's called the Instant Pot. You can get it on Amazon. It has a million really good reviews. It's so awesome. It's basically a pressure cooker and a slow cooker in one that's like its own little appliance. So what's great about it is that you can cook food very quickly but not have to monitor it, and you don't have to be there when it's done because it slowly depressurizes on its own and then just goes to a slow cook setting. So, you know, like in the past, it's like pressure cooking was cool, but then it seemed dangerous, and like the pot was like shaking and going, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know. But now, yeah, you just turn it on and like leave, and you can't even hear it. Like when you have the valve closed, it's like silent. And then, yeah, you don't even, if you have to run out or you're like, oh, I'll be back in 6 hours, like it doesn't matter. It's perfectly safe, and it will go to a keep warm setting. Nothing burns. I just love that. So yeah, so you guys can check that out online. We'll have a link to it in the show notes too for you guys. So, well, that's good to share. So you kind of did 2 main cooking days then, twice a week, or whatever. You cooked twice a week for the most part, and so then you just had to kind of maybe throw together a last minute 1 or 2 things maybe on your actual meal nights or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. So, you know what, we talked about okay, so you guys copymethat.com. We'll link to it in the show notes too. It's basically it's an online meal planning website, and they also have an app. And so what I did was I have my P3 program recipes on there, and if you're a member of the program, we can add you so that you can see the recipes, and then you can actually meal plan on the site. The site's not mine, I don't own it or anything, but it's just a way for you guys to tweak and to meal plan your own thing from the recipes and get a grocery list kind of automatically generated. And it sounds like because I'm still learning about it, to be honest. I don't even know a lot about it yet. Another hCGer had told me about it. I thought, oh, this will be great for the build your own kit, you know, but I'm still kind of wrapping my mind around how it works. So it sounds like you are liking it, or you know more about it even than me possibly. So tell us what you like about it, or how it worked for you.
Yeah, I think I was the one that told you about it, but
maybe you were. Yeah, you probably were. Okay, so this is the lady. Oh, so, funny. See, I talked to too many people. Okay.
No, somebody else. You know how word of mouth things get out.
Yeah.
Somebody else time ago, but you could put like any recipe from the internet on there with the click of a button. So that's what makes it easy, because you're always looking at recipes and then trying to copy paste them in Pinterest. I don't know, is annoying.
Right.
So what it does is like you just put your recipes there, or you can create your own, and then you can share them. Like you said, you can share yours. They're private, and you could invite people to share them with. But then you put it on there, and it's a free app. I think they have a upgraded version, but the free app, you just put them on there, and then you choose what day you want your meal, or 2 days, you know, however it goes, and you just put it in. It has a calendar, so then when it's that day, you just pull it up and you click on it, and it brings up the recipe so you can make it. but then you'd click and you put everything into a shopping list, and then you can mark off the things that you don't want to be on the shopping list. So when you go to the store, you
Like for
have
stuff
just
you already
what you
have.
need to buy, and
It's awesome.
so it's super easy. So
Yeah.
what I was trying to figure out is on that how to blend, like you could either have it separated by recipe or separated by like produce or whatever. So on the produce thing, if it says like, a cup of shredded carrots, and then it says a half a cup of chopped carrots. So then you kind of know what to prep. And that's what I was trying to figure out, maybe just tweaking the actual recipes that you put in, like sliced carrots, onions or whatever.
Yeah, we're trying to do that actually, because I got that like, oh, when you say like a small scoop of stevia and then you say a tiny scoop of stevia, it like gets brought up as two different entries, and I'm like, oh yeah, and she's like, they're not adding up together into one entry, and like, good point. Yeah, so we're trying to get that fixed up right now actually. Those little tiny edits, like it's funny how just the tiniest little thing that you change, like, messed up the mathematical thing that it does.
Yeah, sidetrack when you say the scoop of stevia, like I have liquid stevia, so I'm like, okay, what would a liquid be to a scoop?
I know, and actually I did finally like figure out what the size was, and I updated the documents to like reflect, I think it's like 1/32 of a teaspoon or something like that. It's like a special tiny scoop. But the problem is too, honestly, is that all stevias are different, like in how sweet they are and the taste, and people's palates are different. So it's hard to give like an exact amount, because like probably how sweet I like it with stevia, like my husband hates stevia anyway, but like he tastes it and he's like, blah! Because it's like bitter to him, but I don't taste that anymore. And then like the one I use, I don't feel like is bitter, but then I have another brand I've tried, and I have to use a lot more of it actually to make it taste as sweet. So it's also hard just because everyone's gonna have different brands, so it's really more of a to taste thing, I think. But
I think on the dessert smoothies, I'm getting to where I know exactly, okay, this one's a little sweeter, so less of that. So I think I've got it down, but
good. Yeah, actually, why don't we talk about that since you brought that up? So in the phase 3 program, you guys, is like dessert smoothies. So they're no kale, not for health, and they're not meant to be like drinking either. So they're meant to be like dessert, like they're my ice cream replacement. So I put them in the plan as like a nightly thing. And I knew not everyone would necessarily need them because some people don't have much of a sweet tooth, but I'm like, my sisters that are like me are going to want this. so tell me, you ended up liking them. So tell me about that process of learning to make them, and maybe what are your favorites, or do you like, just what do you like about them?
So I like having like the idea of like at night, we do it at night. So then we sit down, watch TV, and we have this huge, it's huge. It's a huge bowl of like ice cream. I mean, it comes out like ice cream. It's phenomenal. So, I mean, just knowing that you're going to have a treat during the day kind of helps like get through the day. Not that you're ever hungry, but you just, have a treat after so many weeks of no treat.
Right.
So I love them. I have a Vitamix, and so, it takes 1 or 2 times to learn how to make sure all the ice is crushed, but now I'm expert at it. I've got it, and definitely, I don't have the little container like you have. I have the big one. So making 2 of them at a time is great. It makes it a little easier, but it's yummy. I think my favorite, I don't know, because we were still, like the pumpkin pie one I like.
Yeah.
But I love the mango one.
Oh, good.
And I love the banana one. I don't have like the walnut oil, so I'm not sure I picked it exactly like this.
Hey, if it tastes good, that's what matters. It's a tiny amount, yeah.
I love that. I love the blackberry. Was it blackberry?
The blackberry lime zinger.
The first one, yes.
Good.
That one.
A lot of people like that one.
I think it's, again, now that it's hot, I'll be eating that more.
Yeah.
I forgot the chocolate ones. I'm just not a huge chocolate fan, so I kind of changed them up, which I guess is okay.
Of course, yeah.
I think I saw one.
Yeah, all these dessert smoothies, you guys, this is what's so great about them, is like she said, that not only are they huge, but they're very low calorie. They're like between literally 50 calories and maybe like 140. I mean, you could be like, I'm PMSing, I'm gonna have 3, and you're gonna be fine. Like, so that's what's great. Yeah, so you can totally mix and match them. And
well, yeah, because I think I made chocolate with strawberry or something. I mixed it because but they're amazing.
Good.
They're amazing.
I'm glad. And I feel like anyway that texture makes a difference. Like getting them thick so that it's spoonable, like you're actually eating it with a spoon. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah, well, it feels like you're eating ice cream, which is, I love ice cream.
Yeah,
So,
I
I mean,
know, we do.
it doesn't make you feel like you're deprived. It tastes
Yeah.
yummy. So you're eating something actually yummy and you're not gaining weight from it like you would be with ice cream. So there's no need to eat ice cream when you could just eat this.
Right. That's kind of how I feel, and part of I think what makes that possible is because when you're coming off of phase two. So it's like your palate's been cleaned. Because I'm like, probably to be perfectly honest, you guys, like if I actually ate a bowl of ice cream and then right after that ate a P3 smoothie, I mean, maybe it probably wouldn't taste nearly as amazing, but we haven't been having that stuff. So our taste buds really are heightened. And then when you add the different flavors, like whether it's lime zest or lime juice or um, or different spices like the pumpkin pie spice, I've just been so surprised at how much flavor things that actually have almost no calories add to them. It's crazy. So
Right. Well,
yeah.
I think your recipes are like that too, because you add like a lot of nice spices to make them really tasty. So they
Yeah.
don't taste like you're eating diet food or, anything, not good for you.
That's good. Yeah, because that was the whole point, is that you don't want to feel like, when will this be over, or when will I be done so I can go back to eating how I wanted. I wanted it to be like, oh, this is a way to eat for life that I like, that I'm happy with. That was the intention. So cool, cool. Well, let me see. What else do I have here? Let's see. Oh, you mentioned the travel, and you kind of discussed a little bit. Is there any other details you can add just for tips for other people because since you actually utilized the recipes and with your travel, like how did you, like you said, you made the breakfast and put them in something, or how did you do that?
Oh, yeah, so like I made, okay, so my son was competing in UIL events. And of course you have to travel and you're there till midnight. But like there was a couple times we were overnight at places. So we made sure to get a hotel with a microwave and a little refrigerator so we could put stuff. So I just made like the mug muffins, which
Yeah.
are so I made mug muffins in the mason jars, like in little, the little mason jars,
Yeah.
and put the lid on it. I cooked them all, before I left, put the lid on it. So when I got there, I just had to pop them in the microwave for
Perfect.
30 seconds to a minute,
Right.
and then we could eat them. And then, then we just put the jars in a bag to take home to
Yeah.
clean.
Great.
So, I mean, it was not messy. And then with the food, like we'd be sitting at his competitions during the whole day. So sometimes you don't even really get a break for lunch. So we just bring, a little cooler with it.
bag.
Like
Okay.
I put like, I'd put individual portions. So I'd make your thing like two. Each thing is like 2 servings. So I just cut it in half, one for me, one for my husband.
Yeah.
And then put it in a single Tupperware type thingy and just eat it in like while we were sitting watching. And then I brought, like, I'm thinking, because you're always thinking, oh my God, what if I get starving or whatever. So I'd bring an extra apple and I'd slice up some oranges.
Nice.
So I didn't feel deprived.
Great.
Or like I was going to starve and I had to go out and buy a candy bar that was sitting out in the hall.
Yeah.
So I never had that thought to do that. So
Cool.
That to me is the easiest thing, is just plan ahead. And, the mug muffins take, no time to make and
Right.
a few minutes to heat up. So you just
Right.
do all that ahead of time.
Cool.
And it just made, I mean, I think each week I was gone at least one time a week for that whole day. And then I think twice we were gone overnight. So, and then, and you're gone from early in the morning till, after midnight
Right.
each time. So it was, it was not easy days.
Right. That's a long day away. Cool.
Yeah.
That's good. It does seem like the prep work like that is just really key, just thinking
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, you have to think ahead and be organized. And if you have the food with you, then even if everybody's going out and getting burgers or whatever, oh no, I got, my yummy food here. I don't need your,
Yeah.
greasy burger. Good.
So I'm curious, with the recipes, did you just eat them cold? The leftovers, did you eat those cold? And that was okay? It tasted
That
good?
was
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm trying to remember exactly
I'm
what
not
we
too
ate.
picky like that either, but I was just curious, because they are like meals that typically you might eat hot, but I think they taste good cold too.
But you had like some salads.
It's true.
You
Oh
know,
yeah,
some of
like the buffalo chicken salad, yeah, and stuff.
You had a couple of chicken salad. I think you had a couple, what was it? I made it, you had a chicken, like the buffalo chicken salad. You're able to eat and just
Yes.
bring the lettuce and put it on top.
Right.
I did eat some of them cold, some of the chicken, like in a sauce, like in maybe the lemon chicken or something like that.
Oh
And
yeah,
I didn't have a problem with it.
cool.
And if we find I think for dinner, we went back to the hotel and we just stick our thing in the microwave. So we were good for that.
Gotcha. Cool. Awesome. That's good. Well, just two last questions. What were a couple of your favorite P3 dishes? One.
So this is hard because they were all really good. So I think my favorite, which I just made a bunch more of, is the mug muffin. The apple mug muffin was
Okay, the
my
apple spice one. Okay, cool.
that was, I don't know. That
I
was
like
my
that one
favorite.
too.
I think the blackberry is good, but I'm having a hard time finding like organic blackberries that aren't
Yeah.
like $5 for a little tiny thing.
Right,
So
it's true.
that's the only thing about that one. But that
It's
one
true.
was really tasty.
I bet
I
blueberries might work too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe I'll try that because you can find blueberries a lot
it's true,
easier.
yeah.
Um, I think I'll try that. um, I like the fish. What was
Oh, the
the
fish
bowl?
taco bowl?
The fish taco bowl. I made it with fish one time, and then I made it with. I think I had leftover steak one time.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds good.
Both of those. So that I don't know. Like I never really liked the cauliflower rice ever before, but
Yeah.
when I made it this time, I loved it. So that one was
Really?
super, yeah, weird. Huh? And then the buffalo chicken salad was really good. The like you had all the flank steak ones, the chimichurri.
Oh yeah,
I
the
thought,
chimichurri steak. Uh-huh.
and the Greek chicken salad, the dressing for that is like it's so easy. I think there's 4 things to put in
Can't
a
remember. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
I think what's trippy is it has like some grated cucumber in it. My developer came up with that, and I was like, what a good idea! Like I never even thought of that.
And you know what? That's the other thing in the chocolate peanut butter smoothie
Yeah.
where you put the zucchini in it. Oh my God, that is so creamy. It's
Is
awesome.
it, huh? I know. I was like, you know what? I bet when people see this, they're gonna not want to make it because they'll see the zucchini and like judge. But I'm like, it really don't taste it. Like as long as you have a good flavor like chocolate or peanut butter, you don't taste it, and it does add the bulk and creaminess to it. It's so crazy.
Right. I
And
know.
you're
Well,
eating a
my husband
zucchini.
my husband judged it. He's like, oh, I'm not
Right.
like that. Like, just be quiet
Yeah.
and just eat. He's like, oh, it becomes more creamy. I'm
Mm.
thinking I'm going to try that with all the other ones too. But
Yeah, I
the
know.
other one, the one that I don't think I didn't like it, the key lime pie one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah.
one had egg yolk in it, and
Right.
I felt weird eating an egg yolk, even though they're from a farm. I just
Yeah.
felt weird.
Yeah.
Like it was good.
Totally okay. That's why I suggested like the avocado as a replacement, but I did try it both ways, and I was like, it's not as good with the avocado. It's so funny.
I'll try the avocado one. But no, I like the way on all the recipes, like the Greek chicken salad. I was thinking about that. Like instead of like I always just pour pine nuts on. This is why I don't know why I gain weight. So I pour the pine nuts on. I take the feta and I just pour the feta out. But you measure it,
Right.
and gave it plenty of taste without all those extra calories.
Yeah.
Instead of just pouring feta cheese and and then the salad dressing, okay, you make it and there's two, so okay, this is how much dressing I can put on it.
Yeah.
And instead of just piling it on. And that's
Right.
probably like the extra calories that even though I ate healthy, I would just
Right.
eat too much of. And now I have to learn a tablespoon of pine nuts is perfect, and it gives you all the taste you need. You don't need it overpowered with a million tablespoons of pine nuts. So
Right. No, I totally get you. I'm the same way. I think I used to do the same thing. And then when I actually started tracking my calories for a time and my food, and then, yeah, let me see how much is actually enough, because like based on what's a reasonable amount of calories, because that's the thing. That's like with the dairy and the nuts. That's why it's not introduced until week 3 because they're both really calorie dense foods. And I had no idea just how much this was the case until I started helping with these recipes and figuring out how much of stuff we could add and still be within a certain calorie range. And you're like, yeah, like pine nuts, for instance, like you mentioned. Like, dude, like you look at what you think will be a normal amount and it's like 400 calories just for that. And you're like, I can't eat this and then eat anything else if I do that. But then you realize that like, oh, if I just use a tablespoon, you think like, oh, that can't be enough. But like you said, it does. Like when you just have a little bit of those more calorie dense foods on more low carb vegetables with the protein and then, the spices, it actually adds the texture that you need. and you don't need more. But like you said, I didn't know that before either. You put on what seems reasonable, and then somehow it ends up being too much. So that's
The
good.
other thing that was really good that just reminded me, like I love how you just did all these different textures, like the zucchini and stuff. But there was, I think in week 2, it was something with butternut squash,
Oh
like
yeah,
a
the pork one. Like there's a butternut squash like sauce with
yes,
you
but
probably
where you
replace the pork obviously with like
yeah.
something
So
and
with
zucchini
that,
noodles.
yeah. So but the sauce you took and you like made sauce out of the squash, blended up, and I
Yeah.
thought, oh my God. So it's got a nice consistency. You had a great taste, and
Good.
you didn't add like a bunch of calories in
Right.
to it, but it was
Right.
still thick and creamy and yummy. I think
Good.
there was another thing you had creamy.
Yeah,
Maybe
there
it
was
was
like a
with
lemon cream chicken one. I don't remember. But yeah, like with the butternut squash, that again, we tweaked that one a little because initially it's like if the whole sauce had been all made out of butternut, it would have been actually too many carbs and too high calories. So I think we did like at least half zucchini or a third zucchini roasted with it, and that blended it and made it like more balanced or something. But it still tasted like butternut squash, so it worked.
it was sweet and it was thick and
Cool.
creamy,
Good.
but it didn't have all the extra. So those kind
Yeah.
of things are awesome because
Good.
you're not adding all the calories, but you still have the consistency that you're kind of expecting of recipes,
Like a real food. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's food, you think of them as all fatty and stuff, but they're
Yeah.
not. It's had a
Yeah.
small bit of things. So
Good.
yeah, I
Good.
like I don't think there was one recipe. Every recipe I thought, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like this, and then I was like, oh my God, this is so good.
That's good. I'm glad. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Arlene. Maybe just in closing, if I could just ask one more question, like if you were to just kind of sum up to someone else who's like approaching P3 and they're trying to decide, like, should I do it on my own or should I try out the program? Like, what do you feel? What's the benefit do you feel personally, or like what's the contrast between, having the program versus not? What do you think?
So to me, having the program is just so easy, and I would definitely, it's totally worth the investment, whatever it is. If you could do it, it's so easy. It takes all the guesswork out of it. I didn't go over my weight, like I said, and every time I've done P3 before, I've gained because I didn't know when to add the almond or when to add the milk or when to eat yogurt or, then you just end up, oh, let me try this, this, and this, and you have no idea why you gained weight the next day. So this just took all that guesswork out of it, which is, you put so much time and effort in the P2 part of it, and then you get off of it and you're like, okay, what do I do now? So I thought it was an amazing program. I mean, hopefully I never have to do it again. But I mean, if I do, there would never be a second thought. And anybody I've talked to, I have friends that are on the P2 pro, and I'm like, you got to get this program because it's just perfect. I mean, it's amazing. Nobody's ever done it before, so nobody knows, day one, what do you eat? And this is, you look on the internet everywhere, what do I eat the first day? And people make guesses and stuff, but this is
Right.
all easy, laid out for you. And then you have your coaching things too when you need help, or how to make things. And I mean, I thought all your coaching videos were motivating and helped
Good.
keep you through the 3 weeks. I wish it was longer than 3 weeks now, because
Yep.
it just makes life so easy. You don't have to think
Good.
about what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend it to anybody
Cool.
getting off P2.
Cool. Well,
It's
thank you, Arlene. Thanks so much for sharing all of your experiences. So yeah, and I hope things continue to go well, and we will get weeks 4 to 6 up. So the full P3toLife program, depending on when you watch this, is actually a 6-week meal plan and recipes. But my beta launch version only had the first 3 weeks, which is why they got in on a special deal. And basically whenever you buy the program, wherever it's at, whether there's 3 weeks or 4 weeks there or 5 weeks there, you will always get the full 6 weeks for wherever you got in at. So the price will go up gradually as I add the other weeks and stuff. But yeah, so that's the nice thing, is once you get it, you will always get all the extra recipes free. So it takes me a while, but I wanted to make sure that the program, like the initial part, since P3, like you said, is only the 3 weeks. And of course we all want more guidance for after that, but I was like, I don't want to make everyone wait like another 7 months while I'm
good.
getting the other 3, when there's a bunch of people who could be going through P3 with at least, the basic part that they need, and I'm glad, because P3 doesn't wait, so it's like when you're starting it, you're starting it. So Anyway,
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you so much for putting all your effort into bringing this out because it is amazing. It's an amazing program.
Thank
I
you
really,
so much. Awesome. Well, thank you.
you're welcome.